All right, what is up, everybody? This is Rance, aka Darth Lugia, and welcome to the Alex mini guide on Oki. So these are setups to where you are advantageous on your opponent's wake up, and this is a beginner's guide because all of these are actually very easy to do. Alex is a complicated character, and yet his Oki situations, even though he has so many of them, are some of the easiest to pull off with some incredible rewards. So I'm going to be going through 10 of them. 9 real ones, one that's kind of fake, but I've won a lot of games with it, so you should use it too. I'm going to show you what those mean. So before we hop into that, let me quickly tell you what you need for this to be an effective guide for you to follow. So first things first, let's go to display settings, and we want to turn our frame meter on. Okay, I have my input history on, so that way you guys can see what I'm doing, and you can recognize, like, if something I'm saying isn't clear, you can just look at the input history and you can visually track what I'm doing with my buttons. So this is for you guys. Attack data on, so I know how much damage I'm doing. And then everything else is pretty optional. I don't think you need anything else on, in my opinion. So we want that first, okay? Frame data is the most important because this tells us our actual frames and lets us know if we are doing things correctly or if we're doing them incorrectly. Next thing that we're going to be doing to set up for this is prepare a number of wake-up reversal options. So the most important ones are going to be a jump of some kind. Doesn't really matter what kind of jump, but a jump of some kind, okay? The fastest button the character has, right? So a light punch, then you'll also want to get a probably a crouching light punch as well, just for certain situations with Alex in his stance. And then you can do any other wake-ups you want to do, but these are the most important ones. And then besides that, the only other one that I would also add in here is I would also add a backward, and I would make it 1 frame because this means they're going to be blocking on their wake up, right? It'll be a stand block, but that's okay for our purposes. So this will be very useful to see about our options that make them that when they block, we are plus on their wake up. Okay, so just get these set up, have these ready because they'll be important. But you don't have to turn any of them on to start. So with that in mind, let's briefly talk about Oki. Oki, or Oki Zeme, is when you get a knockdown, what is the situation afterwards, right? What are you doing to put pressure on the opponent, right? With the advantage that you have based on the knockdown. Now, Alex, like I said, has some phenomenal options, and we're going to start with the most basic and then work our way up to some of the more complex. However, all of them are very strong and very powerful. So what's important for you to understand is there's definitely going to be a lot of stance requirements, right? So you have to cancel into stance and cancel into these stance options pretty quickly. But once you practice it, the timing is all pretty easy. So here we go. And also choose a character that you want to beat up. I'm choosing Mai because she's very, very strong and she has very fast normals and reversals, which is very useful for us. So that way we can challenge those on our Oki options. So first things first, let's start with the most basic and probably the easiest Oki situation to get into, which is his medium heavy target combo. Okay, this combos naturally, right? You do not have to do anything for this to combo, just medium into heavy, but make sure that you do medium into heavy into immediate stance cancels. You just hold down, right? Into the stance cancel. And the last thing you want to do is do a single dash forward, right? A single dash forward. So it'll look just like this. Boom, you're directly in their face, okay? You're directly in their face, and this is where we have our options. And notice, even if they recover backward or recover in place, it doesn't matter. You will always be, boom, directly in their face, okay? Now, out of this option, you can jab, right? You see, I can link up to 4 jabs off of this, which you can cancel directly into a special move. Or do 2 jabs into the heavy lariat, right? To the heavy punch, because then that allows you to get another combo. You can do 3 jabs as well, depending on timing. 2 jabs is the safer bet, but you know. So that's your first option. The second option is throw, right? Second option is throw. So let me show you. If I have the dummy set to do light punch on their wake up or crouching light punch, right? Both of very, very fast options, the fastest options she has. I am able to stuff those out with the jab and I'm able to stuff those out with the throw. Oh, I missed the throw. Stuff those out with the throw, right? No matter what their fastest option is, I'm able to beat it with this very easy Oki setup. Now, this is just layer 1. Layer 1 is jab or grab, okay? Jab or grab. There's even more layers, and this is the easiest one to set up, but this has some of the most mind games around it, okay? So one of the options they can do is try to drive impact on their wake up, right? You can jab enough times to break the drive impact, or you can even time it right where you do 2 jabs into the lariat, break their armor, and then get whatever combo you want after that, okay? And then obviously drive impact will lose to throw, so that's not a big deal at all either. Now, the other option, and this option beats the throw, is if they go for a jump. So let's start with the vertical jump, right? Just to show you this. They go for a jump, right? Obviously, your throw is going to whiff. However, if they go for a jump, your jab will still hit, okay? So, this is easy enough to hit confirm, right? If you see them hit them, obviously, you go into whatever combo you want to go into. But then if they jump and you go for the grab, you can actually have enough time to go for an anti-air. So when you go for the grab, I whiffed, that's okay. I got my DP ready, right? So if you go for the grab, start buffering your DP, so that way it is ready to go if they jump. I missed it there, I got excited. Oh yeah, I missed one more time, here we go. I'll whiff the grab. I still have enough time to go for the DP. You actually have enough time to go for the medium DP. Light just makes me feel safer, okay? And then something nice you can do is you can even practice, if they try to jump over you, you can practice doing a crosscut, right? A crosscut in this game, instead of doing your typical DP motion, which is forward, down, down, forward, looks like that, a crosscut is actually just a half circle back, right? So forward, down, down, back, and then back, which you have to learn how to do with Alex anyway for his command grabs. So, say they jump forward, I do a half circle back DP, right? And then I get the crosscut, because it registers as if I did a DP in the opposite direction. And this is actually much easier than I thought it was. And so, something great that you can do is set them to either vertical jump or forward jump, and then you can just react to what they're doing in training mode, right? So that was a vertical jump, right? So I reacted again to the vertical jump. Go for the grab, that's a forward jump. I can cross-cut and make sure that they're punished for jumping out of my grab. So this is huge, right? Medium, heavy, into either jab or grab will get you a lot of places. Now, the options that the opponent has to get around this, again, I'm spending the most time on this option just because this is one of the most important, but also has the most mind games. Everything else we're going to be talking about, pretty damn quick. This one is a little bit less quick, but don't worry, you are going to appreciate what you see here, I guarantee you. So while you are in your stance, you cannot block as Alex, right? So what the opponent can do, even if I go for grab, the OD DP will beat it. If I go for jab, the OD DP will beat it, okay? Alex is unique in that in his stance, he has an armored attack, which can armor through many DPs in the game. So for example, boom, armor right through, and I'm left at 25 frames positive after their whiffed DP, okay? So armor right through it. I can go into whatever I want afterwards, right? Not an optimal combo, but I'll show you the cool combos, one of the cool combos after, right? So just one option. And you can go into different combos, right? There's plenty of other options with Alex to get some good damage out on the field. You also are simply close enough to just go for the DP if you want. You're like, and this is different for every character, but just so you know, this is a great option to get through if they do a wake-up reversal. Now another option is actually this, and this one's crazy. Dash forward, right, as soon as you get your target combo, and immediately jump, right? I was too late that time. you actually land behind them. Again, for most characters, you land behind them and they get whatever punish you want. You can go straight into your back turn command grab for 32% damage, which is ridiculous. You can go into your EX1 if you want for even more damage, and cancel that into your level 2, and just look at the damage on this. Like, with no effort, they ate half of their life bar because they did an ODDP off the situation. So start with the jab and grab. That'll get you a lot of places. Once they start to anticipate it, then start to pepper in either the armor, right, or the light kick, which is the jump, because that will get you a lot of places. Now, one more quick thing. I promise this is the last bit for the first bit. This is the longest, but it's okay because this applies to a couple situations, is if they decide to jump, right? We already talked about how this speeds jump, which is great. If they jump and you see that they're jumping every time off of your light kick follow-up, right, off of your little hop, you can meet them in the air with your medium punch in the air, and if you do, you can get combos, right? So that's an easy combo. That's a simple combo. Right, in the corner, check this out. Ridiculous, right? And real quick, because we're here, why the hell not? Again, this was not max damage at all, but I'm just showing you how simple this is if you're calling out jumps like I'm doing just now, right? So, very powerful. Do your medium and heavy target combo and then just go nuts, because you have so many options to just defeat pretty much all of their wake-up options. And there are even some characters, Mai is not one of those characters. There are even some characters where your jump over will beat their level 1. Now Mai's, it goes directly above her and all around her. Mai's does not. But a lot of characters like Alex, like Ken, JP, right? Most characters will actually hop directly over. Let's go ahead. Who's another top tier? JP's a top tier, right? Let's throw JP in here super fast just to show you this. You are so at advantage here, it's not even funny. You can even go for full chop before if you want. Like, it's so powerful. So, again, use this. That's the main point. Okay, that was the longest one, but it's great because this goes directly into our next option, which is ending a combo with the stance heavy kick, right? If you end the combo with the stance heavy kick, this gives you a remarkably close situation to what we just covered, right? So for example, you can even hit 4 of these jabs, right? And then go directly into this. And then afterwards, all you have to do is a dash forward, right? Now the only difference with this one is depending on how close or far away you are, you may not get as many jabs as you got before, right? However, from my testing, you will still always be in the range of a grab, right? You'll always be in the range of a grab. Even if I do, let's see if I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, bam, bam, dash forward, I'm still able to get the grab, okay? So this is the exact same Oki situation as before. You're already in stance after the heavy kick, though. And so instead of having to cancel in a stance, you're already in it. So instead, just press forward once, and then you're in the exact same situation that we were in before. So this one's easy. It relies on all the tools that we just talked about. Okay, now we move to another target combo 1. Now this is off of the crouching light and the crouching heavy target combo. Important for this one, this does not combo naturally. It has to be either a counter hit, and it'll combo. Punish counter, obviously, will combo by the same rules. Or off of a drive rush, it'll combo, okay? So you cannot just throw this out because this is death on block, right? If it just hits by itself, it cannot combo into the crouching heavy. So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna be doing it regardless, just so that way I don't get counter hits on the wake ups, but keep that in mind. You need a counter hit a punish counter or a drive rush for this to combo. Now this one is very fun. So after you hit this target combo, hold down and go into your stance. Okay, hold down and go to your stance. Let's try a dash forward. I'll dash forward. Cool, those jabs hit. But now we have to see if the opponent can actually stop us, right, from using this tool. So let's see if she can. She can, right? So she's fast enough with her crouching 4-frame to stop this option. That's totally okay because we have a different option, right? So if you hit this, cancel into your stance, and then go into forward medium punch directly afterwards. This goes into the elbow, right? And let me show you what happens if they try to press crouching light punch on their wake up. Oh, excuse me. Here we go. It's a counter hit. And a counter hit with this move actually launches, right? Which is nuts. So if you hit this, go into your elbow and you get a full easy DP afterwards, which is beautiful. Now, let's say that they pressed nothing, right? They're going to press nothing on their wake up. This is okay because we're still +6, right? We're actually +6 off of this. And if we're +6, that means we can go into jabs. We can go into our light kick. And if we can do that, then we can get small combos. 1, 2, bam. Oh, let me do that again. I think I missed the timing. Boom. Beautiful, right? Or we can do bam, bam, medium kick, light kick into DP, right? Now, typically, this is only +3, right? So this is a big deal. Because we're getting all of the extra active frames from their wake-up situation, it turns into +6. And again, this is on them doing any type of recovery. It's a hard knockdown. They can't recover back or in place. You're always going to be in the same situation if you go for the forward medium punch. Now, other option, remember I taught you that we want to do one of these that has backwards for a frame, because this means that they block at the earliest possible point. If they block, it says that we are 2 frames in advantage, which is amazing for Alex, because if we're 2 frames in advantage, we can go directly into our command grab, right? Because our command grab is 5 frames. There's nothing they can do that is 3 frames or faster. So let's say after she blocks, I have her do a 4-frame light punch, right? A very, very fast light punch. The fastest move she has. Not fast enough. Boom. That was the OD command grab. So that was, what, 29%? Let me go for the heavy. Sorry, 1 second. Just double check the heavy. I don't think the heavy works here because of the range. Let me just double check though. Bam, bam. Bop, bop. The heavy does work in the corner. Let's try it one more time. The heavy can work. The EX just makes me feel a little bit more at ease. But again, very simple, very, very simple situation. If they do something that's like a 5-frame punish, right? They do something that's 5 frames or less on block, instead of just going for like, you know, a jab into this or a jab into this, right? That's fine. But instead, you can go for your crouching light into crouching heavy target combo and go for the Oki situation afterwards. Now, just like I showed you last time, if they just want to do a wake up, they can, right? If they do a wake up, this will beat it. So instead, all you have to do is jump over them again, right? So instead, all you have to do, boom, jump over them again. Right, if they're doing this every time, just hop over them and you will win most DP interactions. You can also try and like you can like manually time the armor if you want, but I'm trying to get you away from manually timing. You also don't have to go into the stance. You just stand here, right? If you're doing this all the time, you can just stand here and they get your punish afterwards, okay? Now, let me show you another situation that is almost exactly the same. Now we're going to start using some of our drive gauge. This will be off of an OD chop. So, the nice thing is OD chop combos off of any light, medium, or heavy button. So if you hit an OD chop that is grounded, all you have to do is go into stance directly afterwards, right? You cancel a stance, and do a single dash forward out of stance, and then medium elbow, okay? And you're going to see +6, right? The exact same situation. A little bit tougher, because you have to do a dash beforehand, right? But the timing is literally the exact same, and we get the exact same situations that we already got beforehand. Now, if they try to do a panic, wake up, drive impact, this beats it, right? Same with this situation, the exact same situation, right? Because, once again, we'll be +2 in their face. And then obviously if they get squirrely, and we'll try to interrupt you, we have the beautiful option to go into our next Oki situation, which is Oki DP. OD DP, excuse me. Now this one requires just a tiny bit of timing, but again, this one is not difficult at all. Anytime we hit OD DP, what we need to be doing is forward dash. We want to forward dash into towards them every single time, right? So I'll go ahead and do a save status here, so we don't have to watch the animation every time. And we forward dash, and we're at +5, right? You can see that on the bottom of the screen. I'm exactly +5. What this means is I can go for 2 of my really powerful buttons, and they can't do pretty much anything about it except for invincible reversal. First, I'll go for back medium kick, which is +5. Right, +5. +5 every time. All right, perfect. If that's +5, that means that it combos into this, which is lovely, right? Which is so good. I'm gonna have her try and press a light punch or a crouching light punch. She can't get it. She cannot get it because we have enough extra frames to beat it out. And if we get the counter hit, then we're +7. We can go into, hey, let's go into another Oki situation because we can, right? You see how this stuff starts to loop together. Or we just go for a combo because we can do that too. Right? So that's if they try to press buttons. Now that is only one option. Another option you have is forward dash into crouching heavy. Okay, so if this hits naturally, then you're able to go for your typical route, right? Which you should be doing with Alex, which is crouching heavy into stance, into light heavy. And then you can go for your stuff after that, right? And just to prove that it works, I'll have her set to every jump she can do, right? Every option. This comes out before she can jump, right? Bam, bop, 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 bop. And I can rinse and repeat. She could jump again. If I time it right, this beats it. Once again, it beats it, right? This time, go for back medium kick. Go for a smaller but easier combo right afterwards. If they try and press their fastest button, which is a 4-framer, we trade here, but we're +10, which means that we can go directly into crouching medium kick. Crouching medium punch, and then get whatever combo we want after that, right? Right, very simple, very, very simple. So pretty amazing. Now this isn't even the best part, because off of this situation, right? Again, remember, this is off of the ODDP. Dash forward, go for command grab. This will beat them trying to go for a light punch, them trying to go for a crouching light punch, them going for throw. This beats all of it, right? You go directly into your medium power bomb. Ooh, excuse me. You can also go into your OD power bomb if you want to be a little more risky, get more damage. Sorry, let me. You can also go into your OD power bomb. That's totally fine. You have exactly enough frames to make the medium, heavy, or OD power bombs work. Heavy is just risky because of distance, right? If they don't push their hitbox forward, then this one's a little bit more risky. And so I would do either medium or OD. And then you get huge damage off of it, right? So phenomenal option This is one of his most powerful tools. And then obviously, just like we covered beforehand, if they start to expect that you're doing this, she's going to do a wake up, whether that be her DP or her super. Great. Right? Give me all the damage I can take. Right? Forward dash, block. Right? This is, again, not an optimal combo, but a very ridiculous damage combo, which is just fun to pull off. So you can, you know, start to build out your other combos as well. So yeah, once again, a phenomenal option, and again, a very easy option. Now, moving right in, what if you get a chop, right? What if you actually hit a chop? We have a actual safe jump that we can get off of a chop by hitting the OD Powerbomb. So let me show you, right? We're going to chop, OD Powerbomb, we hold forward. Let me save the status. And this leaves us exactly plus enough to go into a safe jump, right? Bam, 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 bam. Whatever we want, right? We can go jump heavy, and you're only really close enough to get either like a stand heavy, which you can go directly into super, which is fine, right? Or what I like to do is go for a crouching medium, because the medium can let you drive rush and you get anything you want after that, right? Or you can do something like this, right? If you want to start looping back in to the exact same pressure that we've been talking about. Now, let me prove that this is a safe jump. I will start by having her do an ODDP. Doesn't hit. I'll have her do her level 1. Doesn't hit. Right? Get whatever combo you want afterwards. This is just my favorite combo to show off in the corner, just because it's so it's so fun to do. There's, again, higher damage combos, but that's not what this video is about. But 6408 is not bad. So yeah, if you want a safe jump setup, I think this is worth spending the 2 bars to get, because even if she blocks it on her wake up, look at her drive gauge. Just by blocking these first 2 hits, right? You're essentially taking a half bar of drive gauge before doing literally anything else. And then if she wants to press, obviously there's hits that you get afterwards. Right, so just really powerful, I love having safe jumps, and it's crazy how simple that safe jump is to get. Okay, now we talked about spending bar, we talked about target combos. Let's talk about a stance-specific situation. So typically, the opponent is going to be jumping at you, and if you call out a jump and you get a counter hit, with this attack, you go directly into this like arm drag, right? Which is awesome. Now, this one is special because this leaves us in the perfect frame advantage to get an overhead. Boom, we get an overhead afterwards. Let me go ahead and just go back to the status, and I'll turn the counter hit state off, and I'll have them stop jumping, just so you can see this all in its pure state, okay? This leaves us at +4, and we are barely close enough to get a jab afterwards. The timing is probably one of the tougher things. If you can get it right, then you can do something like that. You can do that if you want as well, to go kind of loop back in to the pressure that we were talking about. You can go for this option. Right, once again, this loops back into the pressure that we just mentioned. So this is really powerful, right? And then if they press a button on their wake up, and you get a counter hit, then you're +6, which means now you can go into your kick, which gives you a little bit just more leeway, I'd say, than the jab. Now, the nice thing about this one too is a lot of people already know that this exists, and so they're starting to do their wake ups. that's totally fine. You can start to bait this out by just whiffing a jab, like I'm doing, just to show an animation. So that way they will wake up with a wake up, right? So instead of going for this overhead, I get them there, and I just press jab, just so they see an animation. I would not risk pressing medium punch, as you can see, but jab recovers with plenty of time left. And then obviously you get your big combo you want afterwards. So this one's fun. This one is one of the harder ones just because the distance is specific. You think you have to press faster, but you do not. Okay, getting to the end here. So let's say that we get a big combo and we hit the level 2. This is the grounded version of the level 2 specifically. Okay, let me go ahead and hit this again, and I'll save the status here so that we don't have to watch the animation again, but it's such a pretty animation. I love this. Okay, so I'll go to save status. You get a full charged heavy punch on their wake up, and obviously they can like perfect parry, right, and call you out that way, but most people are not expecting you to go straight into a fully charged heavy punch. So obviously if it hits, you can go into your safe jump that we just talked about. If they block it, which this one, again, this one is semi-fake, but I just like the auto timing of it, like really well. I'll go and have them, I'll just have them block like on their wake up committedly. Then obviously this leads to them losing a bunch of drive gauge because you can just cancel it into the chop. If they wake up with drive impacts, which I would use against Alex quite a bit, and you can see it in time, then obviously you can go into your own drive impact because this is cancelable on full charge. And obviously they can do OD wake ups and stuff like that. But this is just kind of a fun one that has worked for me quite a bit after level 2. I've just really liked using it. Now, this is the last kind of pure one, and this is one that I invented myself, which I like a lot, actually. So this is off a forward throw in the corner specifically. Now, Alex does not have a traditional throw loop, right? I cannot just forward dash into a throw loop. I cannot walk into the through by the time they've recovered, right? She can just be pressing buttons and interrupt me. And he does have a throw loop with drive rush, which kind of everybody does for the most part. But this takes timing, right? You have to time this manually. If you just press throw as fast as possible, it whiffs, right? And if you press it too late, then you can get hit, okay? So I'm not gonna talk about this one because it's a manual timing. Instead, let me show you something that I've been using that actually has worked out a lot for me. So you throw, and I'm holding the drive rush button, right? And I'm just mashing forward for as soon as this throws over, I get to drive rush forward. And as soon as the drive rush happens, right, I'm pressing the heavy kick as fast as I can. Typically, this is +5 on hit. Because of the extra frames and the meatiness of it, it becomes +7, right? So if it's +7, then we get anything we want, right? We can go into that Oki situation. We can go into our big combo, right? Which can be improved because we're in the corner, right? We go into, you know, pretty much anything we want if this hits, right? Now, what else is beautiful about this is if they try and interrupt you with a light punch, it becomes a counter hit, which means it's +9. If it's +9, my friend, guess what? Now we get that whole route meterless, and that's amazing damage, right? Simply because they decided to try and press a light attack on their wake up. And then obviously, like I just showed, everything loops back into itself, right? You can commit to over and over and over set play if you want. Now, if they try to wake up drive impact, don't worry, as long as your timing is right, you get the goodies. Which means you get amazing meterless damage once again, because Alex is just the king of meterless damage, especially when it is in the corner. So yeah, again, these Oki situations also work against drive impact. Same if they jump, right? I think you guys believe me by now, but yes, if they jump, this will not work. I'm sorry, they will not be able to jump out. They'll still get hit. And then if they block, which is another very advantageous situation, because guess what we are if they block it? We are +2, my friends. We are +2, which means they block it. Wonderful. OD command grab. That is faster than anything that they can do. Okay, that is literally the fastest option she has. And as long as she doesn't do an invincible reversal or a jump, OD command grab can beat it. And if we think that she might try to jump, then instead of going for a command grab, we just go for a jab. Sorry, let me show it to you real quick. I'm mashing the jab too early. Oh, here we go. You think that she'll jump, then you just start pressing buttons, right? Because you're +2, which means that your 4 frame will beat her 4 frame, and then you can just make it easy confirm, right? If you want. So this is one that I came up with. The weakness, I would call it a weakness, is that you are committing as soon as the drive rush comes out. And so what this means is that, you know, they're going to ODDP potentially, or they're going to level 1, and it's going to beat you for sure. However, guess what else is awesome about this setup? Is drive rush after forward throw is safe, right? She's doing a 6-frame attack, and it does not beat me, right? I'm able to block afterwards. So after you run this a couple times, and after they expect the kick, just drive rush into nothing. Drive rush into nothing, and then holy cow. Then you get your crazy, 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 crazy damage possible. Then you can just go ahead and bait it out and get your ridiculous damage. Again, this is weaker than the combo I did earlier, but I already showed you that combo, so you can go check it out. You can get more stuff in the corner. However, yeah, actually, let me show you the meterless version of this combo. Look at this, dude. This is meterless. If you literally are broke, if you just spent your last bar on that drive rush, you can get 6120 for spending literally no bar, which is absolutely amazing. So I like this setup because not only are you getting it in their head that maybe you'll drive rush, go for throw, maybe you'll drive rush, go for the setup with the kick, but you're also getting it in their head that you can drive rush, do nothing, and kill them for it. Right? Absolutely decimate their life bar for it, if you so choose. Which I just love. I think it's so fun. All right, and last but not least, let's go ahead and show you one bonus one, right? This is a fake one, but it has won me so many games, I cannot begin to tell you how many games I've won with this. So, weakness of Alex is once you do his command grab, your Oki is done, right? We're super far away. 15 frames of advantage, really nothing that you can do, except that there is. This is fake, but let me show you it anyway. Drive rush, heavy punch as fast as you can, right? Just drive rush, heavy punch as fast as you can, okay? We'll go into the command grab. We'll do save status. And if this hits, you are +9, which means you can get your crouching medium punch. Right? Just go into a combo, whatever you want after that. Now, this is fake, okay? Because typically, if an Alex command grabs you and they start going for a drive rush, what most characters can do is just an ODDP. Because I cannot block in time, right? I'm trying to, but I just cannot block in time. Now, fun thing about Alex is you can stall his drive rush with your stance. And if you do that, if you stall your drive rush with your stance, you actually stop much earlier than you would otherwise. To the point where you can still get a combo depending on your time. Right? Even just do something simple like this, just to go back into your overhead setup if you want. So that's one option, okay? Now, very last thing I'm going to tell you guys, what I really like this for is in the corner, because if they are in the corner, what a lot of people want to do against Alex is jump, which makes a lot of sense. Jump is actually very strong against Alex for a lot of reasons. However, I have her set to vertical jump, forward jump, and backwards jump, okay? I reset. Let's start with vertical just to show you. Right, the timing is not the easiest thing in the world, but I'm getting it consistently with some practice. Right, I hit her out of the forward jump, or the vertical jump. Right, same with the forward jump. It's actually easier with the forward jump. Same with the forward jump. Now I'll go the back jump. Same thing, still getting it, right? As fast as I can, I'm still getting it. Now she's airborne and she's in the corner. What does this mean for us? This means we get DP. This means we get any strength DP if we're really on top of it, right? Which is awesome for us. Because again, this is what leads to some of our best situations. Right? Wonderful. Okay, but let's go back to the command. This is post command grab. Okay. What else it means? We get level 1. You have to be on top of it. This isn't easy, but it's kind of easy, actually. It's not the hardest thing to do. You could also do something like this. Go directly into the sweep. You whiff this, and it perfectly times for that. And I think this works even if they do like a light punch on wake up. Just another option. But I cannot tell you how many rounds I've won by after my command grab, I dash and I go straight for this, and I get to bam, go into level 1, or bam, go into level 3. Right? Which is beautiful, dude. It's so fun. So freaking fun to hit this. It's just the best. So this is a fake one, but I've won too many games with it to not tell you about it, and so start using it. Though remember, typically after a command grab, if an Alex drive rushes at you, he's probably going to do like something else, and level 1 or a wake up will beat it most of the time. But I think that's it. So only other situation is obviously if they go for like a punch, you know, you can just be way more plus, which is just great. So that is it. So I know this is long for a mini guide, but these are 10, 9 plus a bonus. Very easy Oki situations to get into with Alex. I would recommend that you go into practice, you put on the frame data like I showed you, you put on the inputs if you like, and you set up a bunch of situations, and then just see if you are hitting the Oki correctly, right? Because the frame data will let you know if you're hitting it correctly on the bottom. And practice exactly what I just showed you and see if it works for you, right? If you do the timing correctly, then it will. And if you do the timing correctly, you will learn how to use it in games, and it will win you games, I promise you. These situations are challenging for the opponent to react to and think about all at once. There is so much mental stack that Alex puts on the opponent. So if you get a knockdown, right, if you get a situation, take advantage of it, please. That is one of the best things to do with Alex. And hopefully you enjoy getting to win a few more games and do some of these setups on your own time. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.